Is a internal comms platform. We sell to CIOs, to CHROs, to heads of comms teams, the whole gamut. So a little bit about kind of what we do. So the teams, obviously, we work to get this internal communication platform out there so that way they can communicate with their employees. We help to get better attrition rates. We help to improve eNPS scores, things like that. So I'm going to talk today through the whole time to value, kind of how we got there as a metric, how we got to creating it, and then how we rolled that out, and how that goal of the time to value got us to build out a better implementation process. So who's this redhead up on stage, the ginger, talking to you right now? So story time. Fresh out of school, I was a software engineer at IBM for a hot minute. 2 weeks, that's how long I lasted. And thankfully, I had a great female manager mentor. 2 weeks in, sat me down. How's it going? I started crying. I said, it's terrible. I can't do this for the rest of my life. I really thought I could. I'm not a software engineer. And she's like, thank God, because I did not think you were a software engineer either. She's like, you are a project manager. You would be fantastic at it. So why not go that route? And I said, can I do that here? Sure. So that spun off my 24-year career as a project manager. I'm now the director of service delivery, but I'm still a project manager at heart. I will never lose those principles. I will never lose that love for project management. I'm a mother of 3 college-age daughters, hence the gray hair. They are amazing, they're great, 21, 20, almost 19, but they keep me on my toes for sure. And as you saw by the clapping, I'm a retired 16-year high school basketball coach. So amazing stuff, I loved every part of that. It was time to retire, more gray hair, but also to travel around the country and watch 2 of my girls play college basketball, which has been a lot of fun. All right, I'm a quote person, so you're gonna see 2 quotes in here, one at the beginning, one at the end. I want you to get more than just time to value out of this. And my first one is, change the world by being yourself. I am who I am, and I'm gonna embrace it, I'm gonna love it, and I'm gonna lead my teams as I would wanna lead myself. And I really just try to be myself and very genuine and very real in every aspect of my life. All right, meat and potatoes times, here we go. Rubber hits the road. Time to value. Why does it matter? So we're gonna start there. And I know a lot of people here are probably like, well, time to value, like, that's easy. Like, we know what that is. Like, we have these ideas. Well, let me tell you what I think time to value is, and through shaping this at First Up, what I've learned. So for me, time to value is, accelerating to customer success. The faster those customers realize value, the quicker they're gonna achieve those goals, reduce time spent in implementation or onboarding. These are huge. You need to accelerate that to get them to that value, for them to understand why they bought your product. I know I have, right now, a customer that has been in implementation for a year, and our implementation is 4 months. So that's a problem, right? And they're not getting that value, they're not seeing that value, okay? So I'm not perfect. I'm just gonna call it right now. We still have issues, we still have problems, but we're trying to figure out the best way to get there, and this has really driven us. Next is it builds trust and it builds momentum. So early wins strengthen that customer relationship and then reinforces customers' decisions on why they partnered with you. So if you get them to that value, they start to see even the smallest of progress, they're gonna really start to see and understand why they went with you. Who doesn't love money? It drives revenue and retention. Our CFO loves it. So shorter time to value means a faster path to expansion, upsells, renewals, all those things that we want to do to keep that ARR going and to keep it there with us. And customers who seek value quickly are more likely to stick around, right? So I'm a little worried about the customer I have right now that has been in implementation for a year. We're going to keep pushing, we're going to keep getting there, but again, getting them to that value matters. And then last, this is kind of like the internal selfish one. By having this time to value and having this clear goal, we were able to clean up our process alignment, really get things going and cleaned up, like, so that we're all driving toward this one common goal. And we've really had really cleaned up some of our high impact deliverables that we have. We've reduced rework and bottlenecks and lengthy delays, aside from that one customer, in service delivery. So we've been able to really clean things up by having this time to value and having this goal. So for us, at First Up, time to value is our North Star. We have other KPIs like CSAT, and actually you'll see some of those in a minute, but this is our North Star. We use the data to really tell us how things are going. Rocket Lean has helped a ton with this. So where are the pitfalls? Where do we keep stumbling with the customer? So we measure that, we find those friction points, and we try to fix those as quickly as possible. Scalable services models. So we're working to basically lay that foundation for repeatable processes. Knowing full well, every customer thinks they're a special flower, so we have to make adjustments where we need to, but we're trying real hard to make sure that we really get a box around our implementation so that it's very repeatable. And then last, the quicker you can get those customers the value and flex on that in the market, you become a differentiator. So it really becomes a competitive differentiator for us if we're able to constantly show we're moving those customers to value and doing it quickly. So, time to value, right? TTV, everybody knows it. Everybody says, like, yes, that's the big thing. For us at First Up, we don't call it that. We actually call it time to first value. We want to get you to that first value, but we want to help you build to all the other value you're going to get after that. So we actually include that in our implementation process. So what's that mean? Let me first talk about what that first value is and how we came to define it. There's a lot on this slide. Stay with me. All right, our customers range from manufacturing to healthcare, government agencies, retail, the whole gamut, all over the place. And what they're all trying to do is reach their employees. The problem is that every customer has a different appetite for risk. Some are like, yeah, roll it out. Boom, everybody, all 100,000 in the company. Then you have the special flowers that want to roll it out over 6 months, over 8 months, right? So they're kind of slow rolling it as they go. There has to be a common denominator and a common thread in those. And we found it with our data. So everybody's data is going to be different. I'm not saying I have like the rule here of thumb of what it's going to be, but we sat back and we looked at 2 to 3 years of our customer launch data. And we said, okay, where are the patterns? Where is it that these successful customers hit whatever that is and springboard to the next level and really get it out there? They're great, they're referenceable, they love every part of us. And what we found in that was on the bottom there, the bottom row, is 15% registration rate, 2 channels launched, and 20% audience reached. So I want to be clear on something. There is not one customer of ours that is 100% reached. So 100% is not like the ultimate. Probably the best in class that we have is anywhere between that 60 and 75%. And that is like huge. That's really big. That means that 60 to 75% of people in your company are registered on this platform and consistently using that. Is the ultimate goal to get to 100? Yeah, sure. I mean, who doesn't want to be perfect? I would love if my team made all their free throws and we're 100% from the free throw line, but that didn't happen. So we want to have a good rate there, but at the same time, I just want to make sure you guys understand that 15% is pretty good as a start. And then again, 2 channels, that would be email, web mobile, MS Teams, any of that are our channels, and then 20% audience reached is basically we're reaching out to those people and we're getting to them and we're talking to them and we're trying to push them to that registration rate. So this is where we landed. And this became, again, our North Star, that this is what we knew and was guiding us. Because up until this point, we were like, yeah, until they're launched. Well, what the hell's launched? Well, when they turn it on. What the hell does that mean? Like, are they just sending emails? Well, no, you can't just send emails. Like, who wants an email? They want to get it on their app. So that's where our problem was, is we could not find that metric, and we were able to use the data to find that metric, which was amazing. So then the next question you might be wondering,